Share my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we'll start from cloud today onwards.
Okay.
When it comes to the cloud, let's first try to understand what exactly is cloud, how it is different from our conventional on-premises, what are the benefits it provides, and what are the different terminologies and cloud models available.
Okay.
So think about the application hosting or application deployment, we need some kind of servers, computers where we can put our application, and then our application will take the request and it will process it. So previously, all those were happening on the on-premises. So in the on-premises era, we need to set up our data centers, and those data centers are equipped with servers, processors, storage, network, everything was there. And we were deploying our application on those servers, and from there, those applications were accessed by our end user.
Yes.
Now, there was some limitations on that scenario that first of all, you need to manage the entire infrastructure, you need to manage the entire security, you need to manage the expenses, all those things. So, majority of work you also need to, majority of time also you need to spend on the management of those on-premises structures. Also, there was a risk involved that when you are developing any application and you deploy that on the on premises, you never know that how long your business will sustain. So in that, for that also you need to do a heavy investment, and if your application does not work, then you have to occur a heavy losses. So around 2005, these cloud technologies are getting involved, and they involved on the model of rental. So as we all know that in real time how rental works. So whenever let's say we are going to a different city for let's say vacation or any business purpose, whatever, we need to we need something to stay there. So we can rent a hotel, and we can stay there. We are just paying the rent and we are staying there. We are not building an entire home there to stay. So that is the rental model. Same concept or same methodology is applied on cloud. So in cloud, we have a party called cloud provider. They are the provider who are providing their cloud services, which we can use by paying a fees to them. So those cloud provider you can consider as the hotel operators. So they will create the entire infrastructure, and they will enable us to use their services by paying a fees based on our uses. Okay, so they developed this cloud infrastructure. Now, as you go to any of the hotel, you are just staying there. You don't need to worry about the electricity. You don't need to worry about the security. You don't need to worry about the cleaning, maintenance. Nothing is on you. You just go there, live there, pay your rent, and come back. Similarly, on cloud, we are not we don't need to concern about the infrastructure, the security, the power, the maintenance. Everything will be managed by the cloud provider. So here we are free from that headache. So we can focus on our primary goal. Let's say we are developing some application, we can focus on our core business. So cloud gives us the flexibility, without maintaining infrastructure, we can deploy our applications in an easy way. Also, it's cheaper as compared to on premises. On premises required a capital expense upfront. You need to invest heavily to purchase those server, to set up those server. You need space, everything you need. But on the cloud, within few clicks, you can get started. So those are few advantages. Now, there are certain disadvantages as well. Okay, so first to talk about the advantages. Cloud is easy to start. Cloud is easy to scale. Cloud is cost effective. clouds give us flexibility to focus only on our business. Okay. And also reliability, durability. So yeah, reliability is also there on cloud. They claim up to 99.9% of reliability. Okay. Yeah. Now on the on-premises side, we have to bear the cost. We have to manage the facility in terms of security, maintenance, and we also need certain engineers. So there is a human cost also involved. Always we need network engineers, we need infra engineers, all those. So all those things required in there. Now only plus points that on data center have is the security and the control over data. So security wise, there is a peace of mind that okay, if you are a big, very big organization and you don't want to expose any of your data, then on premises is a way. And and also there is one more scenario that says that your application will 100% work in that case, and you also know your user base, your requirement of the application. Okay, will not have more than so and so user. In that scenario, yes, on premises will be good fit. But that's not the case nowadays. So 99% of the time, cloud is a good option. Okay, so now there are different cloud providers. I will name 3 to 4 major cloud providers. First of all, we have Amazon Web Services. In short, we call it AWS. Then we have Microsoft Azure, and then we have GCP from Google. Okay, those are the 3 major cloud providers. Apart from that, we have few more like Huawei, Alibaba Cloud, Rackspace, but they have very negligible share, in cloud contribution. So yeah, we will not discuss more about them. So yeah, so as now where cloud comes into picture. So as a DevOps engineer, we should also have some understanding on the cloud, that how cloud works, how to set up deployments there, what are the different kinds of services. You know, that's the requirement. So cloud and DevOps goes hand in hand nowadays. Okay. So yeah, as part of this training, we will be continuing with AWS, Amazon Web Services. The reason being is AWS being the very first cloud mover, it provides easy understanding of the cloud concept. And as soon as you are aware about AWS services, you know how to work with the AWS cloud. It will not be a very big deal to switch over to a different cloud provider. If I give a realistic example, if you know how to drive a Hyundai car, you can drive a Honda car, you can drive a Suzuki car, you can drive a Toyota car. There is no difference. Okay, only thing is, few things will be changing, like few terminologies will be changing here. Like say, for example, in AWS we call EC2 machine, in Azure we call it virtual machine. Only those few terminologies will be changing. The core concept will remain same.
Okay, and steps are also same, right?
Say, can you please elaborate?
Setup steps are also the same for
Yeah,
all cloud platform, correct?
almost. Yes, almost all of the same are
Okay.
there.
And what about cost?
Cost wise, there will be some, here and there, few difference will be there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and also it depends on, depends on the organization, yeah, cloud provider also gives discount, So yeah, it totally depends on that. But yeah, as a DevOps engineer, we don't have, that reliability or, I will say that flexibility to decide which cloud provider we have to use. So we will be
Mm-hmm.
assigned with the cloud provider, just work with them. The cost-wise control we can do in the cost optimization.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That
that's
will be the separate topic. Means architect could manage it instead of the DevOps engineer, correct?
true.
Or DevOps engineer also need to be
That
managed.
do, because see, if you know how these services are working, then it will be easy for us to optimize the cost on cloud.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So Okay, all those three providers. Now let's talk about the basic, cloud architecture.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
cloud support in, the global regions. What does that mean? That cloud providers have their data center set up in each, most of all of the geographical regions, so that they can connect so that they can cover the entire globe. So if you take an example of AWS, let me please show you AWS infrastructure. Looks like they have changed it, but yeah, it shows basically a map of the entire world, and wherever you see these dots, these are the Amazon's AWS data centers. So you can see pretty much they have covered all of the world. In India also they have two data centers. One is Mumbai and one is in Hyderabad. Okay. So yeah, why these regions are needed? Due to the local governance. So let's say every country has a law that if you are developing any application for that country, the data should not leave the premises of that country. For example, if you take example, let's say Zomato. Zomato is an Indian application. So if they are placing their application on AWS, then they cannot choose any other region, let's say US or US West or whatever. Instead, they need to select India regions, Mumbai or Hyderabad, because they are Indian companies. Then so they have a limitation to put their data in Indian regions itself. So for that reason, they have put multiple reasons. Also, the reasons also have one more thing to be concerned, that reasons help us in case of a region failure. So let's say if this Mumbai Hyderabad region is not working, so if you have enabled multi-region deployment for your application will still be working from Mumbai region. So for backup purpose, we also use the multiple regions. Okay, so yeah, they are present in almost all locations throughout the world, and those things you can see from here. Okay,
There is a question.
yes, please.
If I bought a subscription and added multiple locations, okay, so it will cost the same, or how many location I have selected based on that?
No, by default, whenever you create AWS account, you will be cost by nothing.
Okay.
So until unless you go to one of the region and you create something, then only it will be charged.
Okay.
There is no charge for enabling all these reasons.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the reasons, and let's talk about the AWS. I hope you guys have the AWS accounts.
No, I had, but due to extra billing, I disabled that account. But I can create new one.
मेरे पास
Okay, that's fine.
मेरे पास है
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So if you know, I think those things you already know how to set up an AWS account, how to log into it. So I will not cover those part.
No,
Okay,
no,
same.
you need to cover that. I'm very fresher in this.
Okay, cool then.
Yeah.
Okay, so to get started with AWS, so you just need to open this website aws.amazon.com, and then as I am already logged in, so let me open a new incognito window. Are you still able to see my screen? Incognito window?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Are you seeing my incognito window?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So you just need to go to this website aws.amazon.com. If you want, I can put the link in chat box. And then from here, you have to click on sign into console. Yeah, get started for free. So AWS offer a free tier account. So every time you create a new account, AWS will give you $200 of credit to explore their services.
It seems your screen is stuck.
Yeah,
Invest
okay.
banner it is showing and sign in console button is there only.
How about now?
It's loading. Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay, so first of all, you need to go to this website, aws.amazon.com. And from here, you can create your account. So for the new users, AWS provides $200 of credit. Okay, so that you can utilize to explore the AWS services. Okay, now creation of AWS account. You need to provide your email address. Okay, anyway, I don't have this information, but yeah, you can follow it. It's not very big.
Yes, correct. After sign up, you
I will
can.
tell you what are the things you required. You required an email address, and you will also require your credit or debit card.
Mm-hmm.
And some personal information that you require this account for personal use or business use.
Okay.
Yeah, allow me a minute. Okay, so yeah, you just need to provide all those information, your email address and your credit or debit card. So it will, deduct or deposit a small amount of ₹1 to verify that method, your phone number, your address, and then your account will be created. So once your account is created, you will be able to see this kind of page. Okay, and from here you will be able to work with AWS services. Now, there are different ways to work with AWS. First option is this management console. This is known as the management console. Here you can work with AWS services, you know, by graphical interface. Like you can click on service, you can create service, it will open forms, you can provide those information. That's the first way. Second way, you can use AWS CLI. What is AWS CLI? AWS command line interface. It means you can also work on AWS account through your command line. That also will cover. Third option, you can use AWS SDKs. So if you are a developer and you want to interact with AWS services, then AWS provide SDK for each and every language. For example, if you are working with Python, then Python has a module. With that help of that module, you can work with AWS. Similar for Java SDK, .NET SDK. Most of all of the languages, they have SDKs available. So there are three different methods to work with AWS: management console, AWS CLI, and through SDKs. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now we will start with the services. You know, uh, so all in all, AWS has around 300 plus services. Okay, and all those services have a different purpose, different use cases, and as like as a cloud engineer or as a AWS engineer, you don't need to worry about how you will remember all those 300 services, because there are only few services which are commonly used. Okay, so we will be covering all those few of the common services. It's not nobody knows all those services. It's like if you understand how the basic services are working, then you can also explore the other services. Okay, so if I name those common services, so we have EC2, we have S3, we have RDS, we have IAM, we have VPC, we have Lambda. So those are the very common services. Okay, so very first we will start with EC2 service. That is a a service that allows us to create virtual servers. Give me. Okay, so we'll start with the EC2 service first of all. That allow us to create a virtual server. So it means you can create a server on the cloud and you can use it for whatever purpose. Okay. Now, let's say I will go to this instances, EC2 instances. Right now there is no instance running, and you have to make sure before you create anything, make sure you are in the correct region. Okay, wherever you have to create it, because these information you will get from your business, that okay, maybe your business operate in any of the region, let's say in this region or in this region or in this region. So accordingly you have to create your services. So here I assume that let's say our business is working in US East one, USA, so I can use any one of the region. I will go with this, and then I can click on launch instance button, and here I need to name it, give it a name. Say DevOps server. Now, as you all know that it's same thing. Let's say if you are going to purchase a server, then the shopkeeper will also ask you some of the questions. Okay, sir, what kind of operating system you want, how much RAM you want, how much storage you want, right? That's pretty much common when purchasing a server. Same things you need to specify here. So he's asking what kind of operating system you want. You want Mac OS, or you want Ubuntu, or you want Windows, Red Hat, SUSE, Linux, or you want Amazon Linux. Amazon itself has their operating system. So yeah, I will go with this
Uh, there is a
question. Yes,
confusion. Yeah,
yeah, please.
EC2 instance, it means whenever I want a VM, so I will use EC2 service. Is it correct?
Correct,
Okay, and based on that, I can select any particular OS and it will provide me a VM that separately I will start and work on it.
correct.
Okay.
Okay, and then yeah, what kind of architecture you want? 64-bit, x86, or 64-bit ARM that you can have. And instance type, now here you have to specify how much power, how much memory or CPU you want for your machine. Okay, so if you click on this, it will open lots of options for as if you work in your free tier account, make sure you select the instance type which are free tier eligible, because if you go with a higher one, you have to pay high cost, and each of for them you have a cost available here. Let's say if you go for T2 medium, it will cost you 0.0499 USD per hour. Okay, the more higher you go, the more pricing will be increasing. Let's say for this, it has 144 gigabyte of RAM, and for this you have to pay 3.16 USD per hour. Okay, so based on your requirement, how much capacity you want, based on that you can select the instance type. I will not go with this. I will simply go with T2 micro, which will have 1 gigabyte of memory and 1 vCPU. Okay. Also, it is free to eligible. You don't need to pay for this as well. Now, you need to create a key pair login. So this key pair will basically help you to connect to that instance after creation. Okay. So I don't have any of any one of it. So I will create a new key pair. and I will just download it. So I will store that file in my downloads. Make sure you download this file, because if you lose this file, you will not be able to connect to your server. Now here comes the networking part. For now, I will skip it. I will go with the default options, and here you need to specify how much storage you want for your server. By default, it will give 8 GB of storage. Okay, so that's all. I think pretty much I have selected everything. I have given it a name, DevOps.
If we lost that configuration file, so we can download it again from dashboard, correct?
No, once you lost it, you will not be able to download it again.
Oh,
Mm.
so we need to keep that file in our GitHub repository then.
Not in GitHub repository, but in each of the organization, you have some secret manager to store, some vault or something. There you
Mm-hmm.
can store it.
Okay, okay, yeah, got it.
So that's all. I can now launch the instance. So within few seconds, you will be able to see that the instance is ready. Okay, you see DevOps Night Best server is running. Now it will give us an IP address. And with the help of that IP address, I can connect to my instance. Before that, let me quickly check whether the port number 22 is enabled. Okay. So now I will show you how to connect to this instance. So there are two options. First option, you can see there is a connect button. You can just click on this and connect using a public IP. Yes, the default username is EC2 user. For most of the operating system, it's EC2 user. And if you selected Ubuntu, for Ubuntu, the username is Ubuntu.
And even we want to connect server using SSH, we can use the same IP, right? Or we need to enable SSH from this portal dashboard.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's how you have to connect to your EC2 instance.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, you can use this mobile XM tool and yes. And as soon as you don't need, let's say, and one more thing, AWS charge only for the running time. So if you are not working on your EC2 instance, from here you can also stop the instance. So the stopped instances will not be getting charged. And if you want to reboot your instance, restart your instance, from here you can reboot the instance. And if you no longer need it, you can terminate this instance. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the instance ID, that is the unique identifier of your instance. If you have lots of instances, each of the instance will have a unique instance ID. From here, you can see the type of the instance, your availability zone, the
Okay,
IP
means
address.
instance name can be duplicate, but ID is different automatically.
Yeah, ID is assigned by AWS itself. So this will be always unique.
Correct.
This name can be two. We have two instances with the same name, but the ID will be always different.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I think okay. If you don't have anything, guys, I will stop it now and we will continue tomorrow.
कल क्या पढ़ाओगे इसमें?
Tomorrow we will take up, IAM services, and in EC2 also we have few more things, the security groups, auto scaling groups, and the load balancers.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Okay. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.